I interviewed Faker a few days ago, and I told him a joke, and he didn't like the joke, and I felt like I was gonna die. So I wanted to ask, how did you get the balls to do that? Does he think it's a good joke?
몇 점 정도 드리고 싶나요?
5.
5, 10점 만점에?
100점 만점.
Out of 100.
5 out of 100. Hello, welcome to Worlds 2024. I'm here with the illustrious, the man of mystery himself, probably the best player of all time. It's an honor to be with you, Faker. I've been waiting for this interview for my entire life. It feels like this is the pinnacle of it for me. Nostalgia is something that I can imagine you've experienced a lot of in your career. And I vow as an interviewer to bring players, even a player as big as you, back to a place that they might not remember necessarily. Do you remember your lucky song back from 2015?
이제 인터뷰어로서 또 언제나 선수분들의 회상을 좀 도와줄 수 있는 그런 요소를 찾아오는 일에 몰두한다고 하시는데요. 15년도에 혹시 페이커 선수에게 좀 럭키 송이 있었던 거 기억하시나요?
아니.
No.
Let me play it for you.
들어보시고 기억이 나는지.
예.
So this is a song that I watched a video that has very small amount of views. It's from 2014 or 2015 on the T1 channel, and it's because this is a Surinamese song, but it accidentally sounds like good luck in Korean. And you were sitting in a chair with no shoes on and saying that this was going to bring you luck. And I hope that by hearing it again, you will also be lucky for this Worlds.
뭐야?
저 뭐예요?
어떤 사람이 사연이랑 같이 피가 작동일 수도 이 노래를 틀어놓고
이거 틀고 뽑기하면 잘 뽑힌대.
근데 진짜 제가 갑자기 치고 갔어.
이제 그때 당시에 이제 이 영상이 깔린 T1의 그 채널에 있었던 비디오가 되게 화제가 됐는데 뭐 의자에 맨발로 앉으신 채로 이 노래가 나오고 있었을 때 뭐 행운을 가져다주는 노래다라고 하셨던 그게 기억나서 이번에 한 번 더 들려드리면서 행운을 또 이번 월즈 가져다드리고 싶다고 하네요.
땡큐.
Fair enough. Loyalty is a characteristic that anyone, it's admirable for them to have, and you've been loyal to T1 for so long. But one thing that people don't talk about with you in terms of loyalty is you've been loyal to the same haircut for so long, signature haircut. So you've been very loyal to your barber as well. I wondered if you had to critique your barber for anything, do you think maybe he would not be so good at drafting because he seems to have very limited picks?
또 이제 존경을 크게 받는 그런 인물들의 또 공통적인 성품 중에 하나가 이제 충성심이라고 생각을 하는데요. 페이커 선수도 언제나 T1이라는 단 하나의 구단에 굉장히 충성적으로 오래 활동해 오셨고, 근데 또 하나 충성심을 갖고 있는 게 제 생각에는 같은 미용실에 충성심을 갖고 있는 것 같아요. 언제나 같은 헤어스타일을 이제 추구하시는데 만약에 내가 나의 이발사, 나의 바버한테 한 가지 좀 비판을 할 수 있다면 이제 사실은 헤어스타일이 너무 국한돼서 롤의 코치라고 생각하면 뱀픽을 못할 것이다. 왜냐면 하나밖에 못하니까. 뭐 이런 생각에 동의하시나요?
Yes.
He agrees with you.
Say, I'm very grateful for the quality time that we're spending together.
서로 이렇게 고품격 시간을 함께 보낼 수 있어서 너무 좋다고 하네.
Do you think that your signature haircut would work on someone like me?
그럼 저도 어울릴 것 같나요? 이 헤어스타일?
안 어울릴 것 같아.
I'll show him why it wouldn't work.
한번 보여드리겠다고.
어.
안 어울릴 것 같아.
What does he think about that?
어때요? 머리 스타일?
좋은 것 같아요.
Really cool.
Really cool. Thank you so much. So one of the things about you is in the last couple of years you've had to take on that older brother role within T1, and some people might be surprised by that because you were you made a lot of jokes when you were younger. But I'm not surprised to learn that because I know that one of your favorite things is dad jokes. You have very dad-like humor. I wanted to know what one of your favorite jokes was, if you could share it with me.
그리고 최근 몇 년 동안은 이제 페이커 선수가 팀 내에 좀 맏형 포지션을 확고히 좀 가져오셨는데 이제 많은 분들이 페이커 선수의 이런 성장에 또 감명 깊게 보고 있었는데 이제 저는 사실 놀라지 않았던 게 워낙 아재 개그를 즐겨하는 분이어서 금방 이렇게 어른 역할을 잘 맡고 적응할 수 있을 것이다라고 생각을 했는데 최근에 뭐 했던 아재 개그 중에 제일 마음에 드는 거 기억 남는 거 있으면.
최근에는 딱히 하는 게 없어서 딱히 없습니다.
He kind of quit dad jokes recently, so none.
No way. You can't give up dad jokes. They're so good.
왜 최근에 안 하게 됐어요?
그냥 좀 신경 쓸 게 많다 보니까.
I have a lot of stuff to like take care of and like a lot of minding my own business, so dad jokes is like way behind.
Tell him that I'm really sad to hear that, but I understand.
너무 아쉽지만 또 이해가 되는 부분이라고 하네요.
Does he want to hear what my favorite dad joke is?
혹시 아재 개그 한번 들려드려도 될까요?
What's a Korean robot's favorite food? Bibimbap. Bibimbap. And I interviewed Faker a few days ago, and I told him a joke, and he didn't like the joke, and I felt like I was gonna die. So I wanted to ask, how did you get the balls to do that? Does he think it's a good joke?
몇 점 정도 드리고 싶나요?
5.
5, 10점 만점에?
100점 만점.
Out of 100.
5 out of 100.
오케이.
Yeah. Can you tell him that that really upsets me because I worked hours on that,
몇 시간 동안 준비한 건데 너무 속상하다.
hundreds of hours on that one.
그럼 10점 중에 5점으로.
Then he'll go back to 5 out of 10.
Thank you so much for being understanding. Following up on your status as an older brother, we live in an age where it feels like anyone can give advice to anyone and there's no checks and balances in place for that conventional wisdom to be given. I know that you're someone that advocates for reading. You read a lot of self-help books. You recommended the book Instabrain. You also read a lot on neurological sciences. You're all about mastery of the mind. And being that older brother in the team, I wondered if you could share with me the most important piece of advice you think you've ever given to a teammate.
이제 또 맏형 역할을 하는 데 있어서 정말 서로 많은 조언을 주고받고 이런 부분은 필요할 것 같고 뭐 이제 페이커 선수는 워낙 독서를 통해서 자기 개발도 많이 하는 걸로 잘 알려져 있고 뭐 인스타 브레인이라는 책을 최근에 읽었다고는 인터뷰에서 봤고 그 뇌과학, 뇌신경과학에 대한 책도 읽었다고 하셨는데 그러면 혹시 팀원들에게 해준 조언 중에 제일 생각나는 게 있나요?
그냥 뭐 잘 자라고 하는 게 좀 달아서 잘 먹고 잘 자라고. 네. 네.
Eat well, sleep well. Eat well and sleep well.
Is it really that simple? You make it look so easy.
어떻게 이렇게 모든 게 다 쉽나요?
네. 쉽진 않은 것 같아요.
Those are not actually easy to execute, you know.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What would you say? What is a book that you would recommend anyone to read? Because it's actually interesting. I saw you read a book that was basically about a guy that was like in jail for 35 years. It's like a Slovenian kind of novel, fiction or whatever. So your reading spans a wide breadth of research, really. Is there anything that you would recommend anyone else out there to read?
뭐 저는 책 추천할 때 항상 그 읽는 사람이 그냥 읽고 싶은 걸로 읽으라고 좀 해주시고 그냥 서점 가서 베스트셀러로 원하는 거 읽는 게 재밌는 거 읽는 게 중요한 것 같습니다.
Well, I actually get asked a lot to give a recommendation about the books, but I always go for the same answer, which is like you just like have to read what your hearts are desiring to read. So I just recommend you to go check out the library nearby and just like take a look at the bestsellers and choose like which one is like the best for you.
Can I recommend him a book?
하나 추천드려도 될까요?
There's a book called Gödel Escher Back that a guy called, I think it's Douglas Hofstadter, I think is his name. And it combines the work of Gödel, the mathematician, Escher, the guy who does the mathematical drawings, the hands drawing themselves. And it combines all of these different theories, maths, science, and music to create one unified structure. And I think given what you've said that you enjoy, you would also enjoy it.
추천드리고 싶은 도서가 있는데 또 이제 수학자랑 뭐 이런 옛날에는 미술가들이 이런 신체적 학문적인 것도 되게 많이 공부해서 신체 구조를 그리고 했었잖아요. 뭐 그리고 나서 뭐 이런 다양한 세계를 어우르는 과학, 수학, 뭐 인체 그런 걸 모두 하나의 약간 연구를 해서 하나의 결국 결론에 도달하는 그런 관련된 좀 학문적인 책이 있대요. 그래서 그것도 굉장히 관심 많을 것 같아서 한번 추천드리고 싶다고.
I'll write it down for you.
나중에 써서 제목 알려드릴게요.
In the beginning of your career, you talked about how you just wanted financial stability, and then it changed to wanting to win titles. About a year ago, I saw a quote from you where you said you wanted to separate the trees from the forest. And I can imagine that nowadays the biggest shadow that you cast is legacy. I wanted to get in your mind just for a minute. And after 10 years of being the unkillable Demon King, talk to me about the burden of being our sport's greatest.
이제 갓 데뷔하셨을 때는 사실은 이제 재정적인 안정을 확보하는 게 나의 큰 목표다라고 말씀하셨는데 이제 어느 순간부터는 이제 정말 우승만을 보고 달려오셨잖아요. 그리고 이제 작년에 한 인터뷰에서 나무보다는 숲을 보려고 한다라는 말씀도 남겨주셨는데 그러면 이제 페이커 선수는 정말 10년 넘는 기간 동안 불사 대마왕이라는 포지션으로 정말 오랫동안 최고의 모습을 보여주는 것을 유지했는데 그런 내가 이룩해온 유산 이런 것에서 오는 부담감은 어느 정도인지 전반적으로 이제 세계 최고의 자리를 10년 동안 유지하는 데서 오는 약간 내가 압박감, 중압감이 어느 정도인지 궁금합니다.
뭐 사실 저는 압박감은 좀 거의 없는 것 같고 근데 스스로 이제 좀 만족하는 게 가장 중요한 것 같다고 생각합니다. 외부로부터 오는 압박감은 딱히 없는 것 같습니다.
I want to say actually I don't feel any kind of burden. It's more about making myself like happy when satisfied with how I performed.
That's valid. I wanted to ask him what the reasoning behind, because you'll notice during this is I'll ask you a question and you understand it in English, but then you have it translated back. What is the reasoning behind why perhaps you don't speak in English more often? Because it seems that you understand a lot more than what people might realize.
네, 좀 영어로 말하는 게 아직 좀 익숙하지가 않아서 그냥 네. 그리고 좀 완벽하게 듣기에는 어려워가지고 그런 것 같습니다.
I'm not quite used to speaking English, you know. Also, it might not be easy for listener to fully comprehend, so I prefer to like have it translated.
That's valid, but he should know that it's very impressive that my questions are very long-winded sometimes, and I can see in his eyes when I'm saying them that he understands completely.
그래도 사실 이분 질문이 되게 복잡하고 길잖아요. 근데 딱 시선만 봐도 아, 대충 거의 다 이해했구나라는 게 느껴져서 되게 놀랍다고 하시네요.
Also, I bought some broccoli,
어,
and I'm going to eat some of it for you. That's an honor. Does he want any?
좀 한입 하시겠습니까?
아니.
Cool, cool. Faker, thank you so much for speaking to us. I wondered if, as we walk outside, if you could teach me how to do a barrel roll like you did in 2015.
이제 인터뷰 너무 감사드리고 이제 퇴장할 건데 혹시 16년도 했던 것처럼 구르기 어떻게 해주는지 알려주시면 한번 해보겠다.
In the hallway?
좀 위험할 것 같아요.
It might be dangerous.
I'm fine. I'll be fine.
저희 복도 나가서 한번
You
알려주실
coach
수
me.
있나요?
다음 기회에.
Next time.
Next time. Okay, cool. Promise? Promise? Okay, yeah, it understands. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What you say?
pinky promise?
Oh, pinky promise.
약속 진짜 약속 꼭꼭 약속해.
Good luck in the rest of the tournament.
수고하셨습니다.